game fuel. Level up the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Day 2, Week 2, Game 2 as well, here at the Call of Duty World League. Up next, pretty important game here, Gen.G versus UYU. On paper, you may look at it and say, oh, well, Gen.G's probably going to win it. But chance if they do win it, that has a pretty big ramification for our league.
Well, yeah, the good news for Gen.G is they lost, or Midnight lost, excuse me, so they fall to 4-1. Gen.G sitting at 4-0 if they get the win. Hey, and then I don't know if they play them tomorrow or the next day, but then Gen.G could potentially face off with Midnight for first place, to sit at the top of the division. Of course, it depends on what Optic does as well. So plenty of Call of Duty left to play. Don't get anything wrong, but you get bumped up to first place, you're going to be feeling great. And of course, for UYU, they're just kind of fighting for that top 4.
And here's a quick glance at our hardpoint leaderboard coming in, and it's Methods who sits number 2, Mayhem at number 5, a 1.31, a 1.22, respectively there for Methods. So in terms of hardpoint, UYU, they're putting up the kills.
Definitely putting up the kills. The problem is they haven't exactly converted. They've had a handful of games where Methods is like, hey guys, I'm 30-9, how the rest of you doing? And everyone's like, yo, we're down by like 100 points. Like, it's funny enough, he's sitting at 2nd in KD so far, and you got Mayhem sitting in 5th, when yesterday, what was it, EG beat him 250-38?
So at least they're getting kills, Chance.
Yeah, right, like you want the points just a little bit more than you want the kills, and obviously the kills can get you points, but they're struggling in hardpoint, to say the least. Like right now, they're just sitting at 4-3, so respectable. But for the performances they've had, you want more. And then on the flip side of the table, Gen.G 4-4.
4-4. Also important to note, losing a lot of game 1s in their series.
All of
them.
They
go down. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's true. They lose all their first games and then they win all the game 4s.
Yeah. So in terms of how their series have been going, it's been very interesting. You just fancy them. Take one game 1 and close that series 3-0. No stress. No stress after that, but everything 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, I believe, for the Gen.G boys. So a lot of impressive results in their games 2s and 3s, but again, it's all about that game 1 for me, Chance. You got to learn to close it out, because you can get away with it in the league, sure, but by the time you get to a big open event, you go 1-0 down, you're not going to be able to consistently clutch up like that. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, so here's my terrible analysis for like that type of statement.
You're never terrible.
They're going down 1-0 in every single series, but they're making the comeback. So if they win the first hard point, do they know how to handle that situation? Do they know how to play when their back's not against the wall back? I mean, probably. So it should be good. You want to win the first hard point. You're exactly right.
I guess.
But at the same time, for the benefit of UYU, not only do they have that like first map juju going their way, it's also Arsenal, which Gen.G 2-5 overall. So not
Doesn't ask for a better game 1.
Yes.
Did you really? And knowing how this is probably going to go, Gen.G might just win it.
Yes.
just to throw stats completely out the window. Because why not? But early on, kills back and forth. Knight, he's going to find himself a double for UYU, but the kills instantly traded out as Havoc springs into life. And now Gen.G can claim some early time here on the first hill.
It took 25 seconds to get some points on the board, but finally Gen.G cracked through. Nagafen by himself doing a 2-player, Spacely by himself dealing with, well, 3 eventually. Major Maniac is able to take down 1. His teammate tries to kill him in response. But either way, it was a great job for Gen.G to get control of the first hill. It was basically non-effort to even try to rotate over towards the second.
It's worth mentioning Major Maniac at 3-0. There's been a lot of chatter around his name, and just how talented he has been and is on this game. Excited to see what his year holds, because he really is a fantastic talent, as he has a fight with Nagafen. At the backside, it was Mayhem that came to assist him, and the kill came in his favor. Early on though, Gen.G, big lead, 30-4, as UYU starting to fight back.
You got all 5 players starting to work this back, a couple coming through this little alleyway, but that's exactly what Knight's going to be waiting for. Free kill number 1 comes his way, and Gen.G, they are taking their sweet time. And honestly, if I'm UYU, you might even want to start thinking about rotating at least that 1 player in the back, but it depends on where you spawn. And the good news for Gen.G is they're now spawning UYU in the back, which is great for the rotation, but not so great for these final 20 seconds. Nagafen gets the beat down, and, well, it was about as good of a second hill as it could possibly get, because Havoc gets dropped. So final 12 seconds going to go the way of UYU. They're going to have about a 12, 15-point lead going into third, which, well, right now, Gen.G just sitting here waiting.
A note, heading into that third hill, Spacely still looking for his first kill, 0-4. I think to try and get a little bit of confidence on board for him, and he's had a couple players one-shot, but maybe just a little bit too eager to clean that kill up. Will fall, an 0-5 start for Spacely. Gen.G, though, still with the lead.
And UYU also has a pinch coming in through lobby, so now it's a lot of things Gen.G have to be worried about. Unfortunately for Knight, ammo would be nice to have, and that's maybe not a free double kill from Major Manium, but he'll take what he can get. Method's last one alive, he gets dropped, and well, the first push from UYU does get stuffed. Of course, they are right back here on the attack, but Nagafen with the Maddox has got help from Spacely, who it looks like just wants to go and die for 0-7. Does find a kill, actually, and there you go. Gets the cleanup kill on the second. Spacely starts getting kills, things get a little bit brutal. Gen.G gonna get those final 20 seconds. They're gonna retake the lead, and we're just gonna have a back and forth game. Whichever team rotates the hill first, they're just gonna win it. And this time UYU, well, they're there.
Spacely strung together 3 in a row. Methods is gonna be above him. Can he hunt him down? Not gonna be the case. Rotates now over towards the new hill, and as bizarre as it could be from an 0-7 start, Spacely, if he's maybe a little more passive here, could maybe get himself in a position where you could work for streaks as it became a fist fight. And sadly, Spacely will fall. Meanwhile, mid-map, one player edging towards some streaks. No one really securing it. And again, just back and forth on this hill.
Win the rotation, get the hill early, and neither team seemingly is able to break through at all. Of course, there's been a little bit of contest time coming in, but honestly for UYU, I think Knight is probably one of the strong points for him. 10-6. Again, we pointed out earlier, it's been Mayhem and Methods have been their strong performers, but he's picking it up just a little bit. And again, we have our third, fourth, whatever it is, lead exchange coming down. Of course, this rotation battle is going to be huge because, of course, neither team is able to break through. And UYU, they're here first. They're here early, and Knight picks up 2 kills. They got the Tac 5 just to solidify the rotation. Gets the kill on Major Maniac, and the extra health was necessary to make it happen. He's looking for one more. He's not going to lose that gunfight. And now, of course, he himself starting to creep up on some score streaks. But we already know that these 40 seconds go in the way of UYU because neither team can break a hill.
That's really the theme so far. A couple of contests, but 2 players close to streaks now for UYU, and you never know. Maybe this could be the turning point they need to just really accelerate through game number 1. Proto. Grab slam.
Oh, God.
That's not gone well. He wanted just to secure that final kill, and, well, he's going to lose the fight, ironically. He goes down. There was one other player close to streaks, and I believe that was what? Was it Knight? Yeah, it was, and he's not going to get him either. So a little unfortunate for him, but either way, UYU with a big advantage, and now we're going to rotate chance, and we'll see that big advantage just taken away.
The good news for Proto, he's probably going to get a second chance in this map. Take a second crack at the gravity slam. He's a little bit premature there.
Just a tad.
And again, the good news right now for Gen.G, they won the rotation battle, and I don't care if it's the middle hill. Neither team apparently knows how to break through. It would be nice if you had a gravity slam right now to break into the hill, but you're not going to have that. Havoc's not going to have his life. You got ICRs that are inside the hill. Mock's able to pick up 1. And yeah, again, these players just going to flood into the hill by one, and we'll see who wins the rotation. And that'll be the next 60 points for that team.
The first rotation of hills is, well, it's not been pretty. Let's just say that as you keep your eye on the mini-map here already. A couple players from Gen.G back away, an Annihilator available, a Tempest available. Nagafen first to find the fight. There's one. He gets traded out. Methods and Mayhem now both working towards pinching, but Havoc's, he's found a flank of a flank. And, well, the flank of the flank wins. Moss shooting from gun side. Gen.G, a little bit of a pinch here, and this could be a very, very short-lived hold of a hard point. As it just goes back and forth, contested left and right. Walks, trying to line some shots down from afar. Proto up top, but UYU, despite not having the spawns here and dealing with 2 pinches and a late flank, still have hill control.
So that's the confusing about this hill. Like, neither team really won the rotation battle, so who really knows who gets there first? UYU, they'll eventually able to hold on, which now means that they will be able to get the final 30 seconds as soon as they establish control. Looks like Gen.G might want to take another crack at it. They got 3 players pushing up the front, which I'm assuming they're just going to fall one by one. It's going to be Major Maniac by himself. He's going to be backing up as the UYU players go on the hunt. Of course, though, the good news for Gen.G is they do win the rotation battle the next, which means that, yes, they're down by about 50 points, but they'll get at least 45 here, and they'll be right back in this game.
Havoc furthest push. Grafslam available to use should he want to. Doesn't need to, though. teammate is going to be there. Now you be careful here with how you control the spawns because it was Mayhem at the back with the War Machine. Annihilator's been popped here as well. Grab Slam connects with 3 through the door. Proto, take some notes. That's how you use it. Whereas Gen.G now look to lock down the final 40 seconds of hill. In
fairness to Proto, it was destiny because Gen.G won the rotation. So despite the Annihilator, despite the War Machine, it has to go the way of Gen.G on this hill somehow. And well, 25 seconds left. UYU taking another crack. They got to deal with Spacely up front. And of course, actually, there you go. The perfect break. Ben, we have our first clean break of the game.
UYU's winning this game.
UYU, they're going to get this game number 1. That's just the way it goes.
100%. Them that final 20 seconds. The first break of the game, UYU, yep, they're going to be in the driver's seat from here on out, Chance.
Crazy how these things work out, man. It's just outstanding that, I don't know, 7 minutes deep in the hard point, we have our first break. Proto, by the way, got to keep an eye on how close he gets to that grab slam. He's, I don't know, 65% of the way there, maybe, which maybe not even going to need. Maybe UYU just able to get to that 250 points quick, but Gen.G, they're in the hill, Ben.
Another break. Finally.
Madness.
Here we go. Breaks on back-to-back kills. We're feeling blessed right here. Spacey now going to go for a quick flank through, and he should be able to catch Knight at least. Does so, gets the beat down, but he will surely fall. Never mind a double. Bear in mind, he started off this game 0-7. Since then, he's recovered somewhat well. 13 and 18, current stat line for him. But UYU, over 200 points, looking to put this game to bed.
Pretty big kills on space, so considering the Vision Pulse did get popped. But either way, the Vision Pulse did get popped, and that does help UYU. Screw that final time. Coming in the situation now, I mean, if this were any other game, Gen.G would certainly have an opportunity to win this game because by no means are they out of it. It is going to be Havoc inside of Next as well, or excuse me, inside of mid-map. Major Maniac's going to be the one inside the hill, but they have control early on to dig their way back into this game.
Good read. Check that dark corner and find yourself a freebie, but Spacely, speaking of freebies, there's 2 with the nade, and Gen.G once again fighting back, but it's so difficult to string yourself a full 60 onto this hill. Going back over towards the first hill for the next rotation. To break through those doors is tough if you don't have extra utility to do it, and that's something that Gen.G will have to try and save, but more importantly, you got to stay in the hill because UYU can't end it here, but they could definitely put it almost convincingly out of reach. It's just 20 seconds, all they're going to need to contest for the final few. Does mean that we at least see one more rotation.
Part of me wants Gen.G to get really close to this comeback just so Proto can earn the Gravity Slam and let that be like the deciding factor of the game, of whether or not he can next. And that honestly is a situation that's on the table. Right now, UYU complete control of the middle of the map. And they are 15 seconds away from winning this game, which means Gen.G, they got to move on the hill quickly. Proto wins his one-on-one. Spacely is going to fall. Not going to find use the attempt. He's going to knock 2. Has a player over towards the side. Skies takes him down. The kill feed, nothing but red, and Proto has the grab slam. Do you even need to use it? I think not. And UYU, as destiny commands, wins the game number 1.
And that was the perfect example of everything I was talking about. The rotation from the last hill into the first hill can be so tough. If you do hold it for a full 60, you got to pray that someone's rotated early. You get out rotated to that, very tough to break. And you know, for Gen.G, familiar territory now, down 1-0 in a series. And for Gen.G, I mean, they just hold out. It was that first break of the game, man. I called it from there. I said they were going to win that map.
Like, we just need to skip map 1. Like, just don't give the other momentum. Just give them map 1 for free. It has become the most predictable thing, like, in the Pro League. Like, there was never a moment in that game where I was like, Gen.G's got this. Nope. They're going to make the come. I watched Proto grab slam nowhere near an enemy. It's a solid 15, 20 feet away, and he didn't even go for like the high charge 4 or whatever. And I was like, yeah, they're still gonna win the game. It doesn't make a difference. So shout outs to UYU for doing what everyone knew was gonna happen.
Doing the predictable, I guess.
I don't know.
I'll tell you, the Proto grabs on the hell out of that wall, that's for sure. UYU 1-0 up, though. And I know before the game, Jess caught up with Skies. Let's find out.
Thanks, Ben. That's right. And he told me, well, last time we faced our opponents, we should have won, and we did take it out to a game 5, so we are proud of that. He said, you know, that did give them kind of the little extra boost that they needed to think, well, maybe we've got this, maybe we're still in this. He said, well, we should have won, but at least when we took it out to the game 5, you know, that made us feel a little bit better overall. And he said the main thing that they really need to focus on is starting off hot, and you know, they already did that with the hard point, so I'm sure they're feeling really, really good right now. And he is also a little bit concerned about the S&D, but of course, I guess we'll see how this goes pretty soon here. Now, over on the other side, I did catch up with Mox, and I gotta say, everyone from Gen.G is always just so incredibly positive, and he basically told me, he said, you know what, no matter what happens, I'm just excited to be here. I love playing on LAN. I'm so excited. And as I'm chatting with him, Coach Joey Nubsy kind of jumped in and said, nobody else wants this as badly as we want it. So I don't know if that's maybe kind of giving them the little fuel that they needed over the past few days, but something was working for them. Let's see how the rest of the series goes. Back over to the casters.
Thank you very much, Jess. And we're talking about predictability in Game 1. Well, Game 2 is...
It gets easier.
Yeah, it sure does. What is it, 5-0 S&D stats in terms of the searches that they've played for Gen.G, and 1-4 from UYU. So I think we already know what's going to happen here.
Again, you never know for sure, but like I got to give credit to Joey Nubsy, right? Like the coach for Gen.G comes in, and they take a team that it's definitely good. Okay, well, just let me. I'll get to my point, then you can disagree later. You take a team that was solid at search and destroy, and like across all game modes, solid but maybe not great. And now you take them to they're undefeated, 5-0. And what is the coach going to be most helpful in? It's always going to be search and destroy. It's the game planning, it's the research, it's VODs,
it's great.
It's everything. And we know that the waiter has notes on everybody. He's got plans for everything, and we'll see if it pays dividends for this map number 2.
If he's such a good coach, why can they not win a Game 1?
Well, because they're winning series. You don't need to win a game number 1. You need to win the series, and his team is 4-0.
I would like to see them win a Game 1.
I don't know, Ben. What would you prefer? To win game number 1 every single time, or to win the series every single time?
If you win Game 1 every time, you
Gen.G is perfect in series. And I'm sorry, at the end of the year, you look at a team who has the perfect record, and you're like, yeah, they have one of the best coaches there. I'm not saying that's true for Gen.G. We got a ton of Call of Duty left to play, but so far so good, and that is the least amount of notes I have ever seen. Unless he's got...
The fact that his reading is so...
No, he's got some on the left
page. Thank
camera angle, though.
If you're reading... There we okay, thank the Lord. I thought it was 3 lines of notes. All right, so this is what they do in search. Well, no wonder you're searching a story.
That's the real lines. Here's what they do in hardpoint. Here's what they do in search. Here's what they do in control. That's all the information they have.
Oh, Lord. I want to see the waiter. I want to see what's on the menu today. That's what I'm curious about.
So that 2-3-4 is the only thing that they brought to the... Or no, excuse me. They had one Game 5 against LG. Oh, yeah. But again, undefeated in Search and Destroy. They win the Game 5s.
Well. Going into Game 2. If I was a betting man, I don't know exactly where I would put my money here, but for UYU, can they turn things around? A 2-0 advantage in the series would definitely spice things up. Already casted one Game 5 today. Fancy another one?
I'm not fancy. I'm a pretty simple guy, Ben.
So do you want another Game 5?
Oh, I don't care. I'll take whatever. I don't even know if we get to see a Game 5. Gen.G is, what, 3 for 4 with losing map number 1 and then winning the next 3. So I don't know if the odds are really in UYU's favor. And, of course,
oh, no, they're not.
I think for UYU, they're going to pretty much have to win the control and hardpoint. Unless they pull it out here. Again, if you're UYU and you go 0-4 the first week, you're like, oh, boys, this is obviously what we need to work on. It's got to be the search and destroy, which, to their credit, I think yesterday they got their first S&D win. So they got on the board.
Progress.
Maybe clean things up just a little bit.
Can they find their second? Let's take a look over at Proto's perspective here from UYU. Of course, they are on the defensive side as they force Gen.G to wrap all the way back. Evaluate the situation today. Maybe try and push in towards B, or is it maybe a double bluff? Now it seems like the bomb just doing laps, just getting some exercise in.
It's hardly a bluff and more of just like super patient play. Proto just gets shot in the back, annihilated there. First blood the way of Gen.G. Now working over towards B side control. 38 seconds on the clock is honestly plenty of time. Bunch of players coming through. Sky's able to find one. The trade is in. Nagafen shuts him down. You got Knight with a sniper. Might get the collat, but instead gets a hit marker. And hey, you want the Mozu, because the Mozu, oh, let me tell you, Ben, the gun kills quick. That did 3 kill in the back, but that bomb does go down. 3v2 Gen.G.
Looking at the minimap, you can see the way the retake's going to come through. First push up top on the ICR. Mayhem now. Good as dead. Major Maniac closes out the round with 2.
I'm going to guess better at range. Is my guess for this strife. It's a little bit easier to control. You get more ammo to not burn shots. But I will say,
he would have got that.
Everyone runs the Mozu, and the Mozu's always great for 1 kill. Even if it's against a SOG, the Mozu's a pocket shotgun.
Would have had that kill there too. Maybe he had the Mozu when he got challenged. Hit him twice.
Who? Not at the end of the player, though.
No, the player that pushed him originally. When he pulled out his pistol, he landed 2 shots. If he had the Mozu, he gets that kill.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, no, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying my guess is that he prefers it.
I just don't understand why you would prefer it.
Or extra ammo capacity.
I like pocket shotguns.
It'd be worth asking the guy. I mean, Knight's been known for his S&D. He's been around playing the mode for years, but he does have the extended mags on the stripe, so he's clearly sticking with it. See if it can make something happen, but the nade is going to force them back for at least a moment. Keep in mind, Gen.G, you got one player going on the flank, but is the flank necessary? Knight first blood.
Crispy. Can you find the second? Slowly but surely. Let's clean out that B site. Flank coming through from Havoc. That's highlighted on the minimap. Here's a look at the perspective. About as free as kill he's ever going to get. Knight also drops. Gen.G should be good to go 2-0 up here. Havoc still causing problems. He's pulled away, but Methods has to respect it. Has to just clean it out. Meanwhile, Proto does have the bomb. He's made his way over towards B. 3v2, though. You just play numbers here if you're Gen.G.
Just got to play numbers, and of course, that bomb may very well be going down in a second. But you got 3 players in white coming to hunt them down, and Method's on the wrong side, so Proto's just going to die. 15 seconds, you're not going to be able to get the bomb, and that is a round where you get the first blood, and you do not get the round win. And I will say, if you remember back to, I think, day number 2 of the Pro League, when it was UYU were playing against Optic, Knight had to have gotten like 5 first bloods on Crim6 repeatedly, and Optic Gaming still won that game 6-5.
Yeah.
So the first bloods are great. Round conversions, not so much. And again,
and it's important to know a couple of those first bloods weren't even just instant trades, right? That's something that
correct. Yeah.
When we talk about first bloods, you have to like obviously factor that in as well. I got first blood, but then I died a split second after. It's not really a true first blood, if you will, but in that situation you're talking about, it was actual 5v4 situations where they're not able to close it out, and that was another example of exactly that. Havoc again making a play on the flank was key for their success. And speaking of Havoc, he's 3-0. Mox 4-1. Spacely still searching for his first kill here in the search.
Very passive play once again from Gen.G on offense. And that flank, not exactly wide open. You got 2 players that are thinking about crossing over, but Mox has been watching it the whole time. He's got the information, so Spacely's just going to be cutting through mid, and Proto is actually able to find him out. So first blood the way of UYU, second blood the way of Nagafen, who, by the way, is good with a sniper in his own right.
Yes. And a very talented sniper rifle player over the past few years, that's for sure. There's Havoc once again, shooting players from behind, and well, he can shoot them in the front as well, that's for sure. Fancies his chances against Knight, 1 away from streaks. He will drop. And the kills come through once again for Gen.G.
All right, these players know more than I do. There's something with the strife on this map, apparently. If Nagafen's using it as well. So I'm sure, I don't know, let the analyst desk figure it out. Honestly, they could take a crack at it because, I don't know, I've always been a Mozu guy myself, but something we mentioned when you talk about the 5-0 record of Gen.G, the record honestly says all you want it to. But earlier when we were talking about Midnight and how Brack had that #1 S&D KD, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all Gen.G players.
Yep.
Which I know Karma's like tied with Nagafen, I think, at like a 1.36, but pretty good. Pretty good at search.
3-0 advantage. And they make it 4. Mox, of course, 25 points away from streaks, the key player to watch here. At the opening of this round, there's Mayhem. Even the assist would do, but Mayhem wisely backs away, lifts the fight another day. Havoc with 1. Didn't heal, worried about the challenges again. The fight on the outskirts delays. Mayhem has to wrap. Cannot push that 4v4.
Spacely for the moment is by himself in these little tunnels, but it looks like not a ton of pressure coming his way. It's a bit of a bait here. They're baiting out the rotation, but Gen.G is not biting. But you have to imagine that having the ping on the lightning strike, well, it tells you exactly where they are, so no reason to get baited.
I love the use of that in this round. It's a 4v4. You're going to pop crash, you may as well get all the information in the world, and that should give Spacely, who was the player on that little island, enough time to reposition and maybe try and get a free kill, but that about sums up his luck so far this series. 0-2. Really struggled to get things on his side. His bomb does eventually get planted. Now, Gen.G again challenged with a retake. Spacely finds his first kill. That was on Mayhem. Major Maniac knows he has 1. All the way to the back. Streaks picked up. That's going to be a Hellstorm 2 versus 1. No! Methods almost got turned on. 1v1, 25 seconds. Mox still has the TAC 5 boost, and that was enough. That was the advantage needed. Full streaks, 4-0. We said it was predictable, proving to be just that.
And genuinely a pretty huge play by Mox at the end. I think he picks up like 3 on the way, if not 2, shuts down Skies, who picked up the 2-piece, and it comes down to a 1v1 where Methods has the advantage. Like, the bomb's down completely out in the open, and he's up top heaven, so he's got the best line of sight to it. He, of course, knows that Mox has the ICR, but pretty much I think the only play that Mox really had, outside of maybe standing on the bomb and guessing a pre-aim, is to play as aggressive as possible and go and hunt him down. And it helps just to win the gunfight in the end. So Mox making good plays all the way around, gets full streaks, up 4-0 for seemingly the most predictable 2 maps of all time. Assuming Gen.G can close it out.
Just out of curiosity, Gen.G's control record.
They're both 3-1. That's where things get tough.
There we go. So maybe a more spicy game 3. As game 1 definitely goes how you would expect. And game 2 looks to be similar. There's already 1-man advantage, 4 versus 3, as a couple of kills do come through left and right, but trades are always going to follow. Havoc with Grab Slam as well could put this one at 5-0, but when you're shooting like that.
So Ben, map 3, you want to talk about it now, or do you want to wait?
Sure, yeah, both teams are 3-1. Where are we heading to?
I think it's gridlock, if I remember correctly, so both teams 3-1, you think it's even. UYU's record on gridlock, 2-2.
Okay.
Just take a guess. Just take a guess on what Gen.G's record is. And whatever number you think for the first slot, think higher.
I was gonna say what? 2-1?
Oh, 8-1.
Okay. Okay.
So again, both teams 3-1, seems fairly even, but Gen.G, you know,
but that's
really good at gridlock control.
That's overall though, correct? For including people. What is their specific stat from the league? Because that's what I was thinking.
1-0, because everyone else bans it against them.
Okay, so everyone else has, some good vetoes. This Knight takes a trip off the map. Round 5, about as expected as you're gonna get. So they've only played it once, okay, and they're 8-1 overall on that map.
In fairness, UYU is 2-0 in the Pro League specifically.
In the Pro League. So both teams have
so keep in mind that it might be a really good map for them. Obviously, they have Methods now, so the stats are a little bit different. So the team as a whole is going to be good at one thing. Maybe Methods brings a little bit more gridlock-centric gameplay to the table. And of course, Mayhem has been feasting in control as well. But again, 8-1, like that's just, it's intimidating to me. Because like Mox right now, 8-1, fully streaks out. I would be concerned because I feel like 8-1 is good enough to like win a map, which, you know, so far so good. By the way, Havoc 8-2, so maybe that's destiny. Their record's gonna be 8-2 now, maybe.
Grab Slam from Havoc, first blood, second blood. Hey, go for 3, why not? Well, I'm not gonna get it. But the trade, as always, with Gen.G is gonna be there. 3 versus 2 though, as Spacely does fall. 3v1. Honestly, when they said, hey, by the way, Chance Benson, you're going to cast Gen.G UYU, we should have said, well, can we just skip map 1 and 2, just go straight to the control?
Yeah, like, come on. It's just
we know it's going to be 1-1. Everyone knew it was going to be 1-1. Drone squad out on the map. Skies, good luck. Have fun. 40 seconds. It's, I'm going to say impossible. There's a chance. It's just the problem is that chance is very slim as Mox cleans them up.
The terrifying thing about Nagafen is his trigger finger is as fast as anyone you're gonna find in the game, so puts almost enough bullets into the guy with the strife. But the series, as expected, search and destroy the way Gen.G. Shout out to Joey Nubsy putting in some work for the team, although honestly he didn't need to for that one.
No, I don't
and then of course
do a thing.
Hardpoint the way of UYU, so desperate potentially for UYU. They want to avoid the game number 5, but both teams 3-1 record in control. Who gets the advantage in the series? Find out after this.
The Call of Duty World League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official beverage of the CWL. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the CWL. And TCL, America's fastest growing TV brand.
the main stage matchup, Gen.G, UYU 1-1. So let's actually start the series now then, Chance, because map 1 and map 2, predictable as anything. I would have bet my bank account on that going the way it did. Now though, for game 3, how you seeing it go? Is there potential here for UYU to take it, go 2-1 up, or are you kind of sticking here with Gen.G?
Absolutely. I think there's definitely potential there. Again, both teams 3-1, so you think it's comparable from the start. And granted, Gridlock, 8-1 record, 9-0 from Gen.G, but most of that came from the PLQ.
Okay.
Slightly weaker competition, not quite as good. They haven't played a lot because it's been vetoed. So there's definitely potential, and you got to look at Mayhem as well. I think top of the leaderboard for KD in control. He's been playing out of his mind. Actually, definitely not because it's Llama God, but I think he's number 2. So right behind him, but no one's catching Llama God anytime soon. And I will say, we have yet to see a game, or we've only seen one game 5 from Gen.G, excuse me. This game number 5, Arsenal, they got what, a 1-3 record on for Search. So if Gen.G is ever going to lose the Search to UYU, it will literally be this game number 5. Of course, even then, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, probably close to 50-50, but I'm just saying we don't want to count. Like, this is where the series actually begins. Map number 1, incredibly predictable. Yeah. Map number 2, we saw it coming a mile away, but from here on out, it's a genuinely interesting series. I say that now. It might just be blowout, but you know, fingers crossed.
I think the interesting stat, and this is something that Maven during that commercial break came back and said, you know, Gen.G win this. They're, what, 5-0 in the standings, and they've lost game 1 every single series they've played.
Yep.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, so Maven was bringing up in IW is something like 80-90% of the teams that you win map number 1, you win the series, which makes sense intuitively because if you have a team that's really good versus a team that's really bad, if you get the 3-0, like it's always the map 1, unfortunately, it makes perfect sense logically speaking. But Gen.G is slaughtering that statistic. They are dragging it so far down, it's unbelievable. But at the same time, you want to talk about control. There's one tick in, and not a single gunfight on the map.
No one's shot their gun yet. Finally, a little bit of action. Those methods will shut down Havoc. Mayhem responds with a double. There's already 2 tick. All right, so game plan off the rip. Give up A completely.
So from the start of the game, UYU now has a lot more time on the clock, and they have a much bigger life advantage than they originally started with. So you want to talk about a good opening break. Honestly, UYU didn't really do anything exciting.
Yeah,
they went over towards A, but horrible retake from Gen.G, getting picked off 1 by 1. So now for Gen.G, you got 2 minutes. Hold B.
Good luck. It'll be extremely tough to defend any control zone for that long a period of time. This Methods with a double. Methods feeling himself. That's a triple. 125 away from streaks, but unfortunately runs into Havoc and his SMG. So UYU slowly reducing the deficit, now down to 2. The lowest it's been really since the opening break. Make that down to 1. Still plenty of time for Gen.G.
Gunfight you saw just a moment ago might give you an inkling. Skies at the PLQ was a monster, incredibly good, but so far in the Pro League, he has not been performing nearly up to his standards, so you got to expect him to try to pick things up to get his team back in it. Of course, as I say that, Nagafen takes him down, does get traded out, but on the defensive end, so far so good. That is a minute off the clock. That life differential still hanging around that 3 margin, but honestly, just been causing so many problems Gen.G has up top. Finally, they're getting pushed in, and this is where it comes down to for UYU, excuse me. You got 3 players coming on the backside. This basically takes one of them down. You got 2 players up top. You got to sandwich them in. Looks like they might be just going a little bit too slow. The 2 players up top never wanted to make a move, which means UYU are just falling 1 by 1 on the flank.
Skies with 1, looking for 2, connects. Does get traded out. 3 life advantage to UYU. Make that 2 as Major Maniac finds 1. And I think the disappointing thing is UYU've not even managed to get a tick into B. Not even come close to it. The defensive stand has just been so good. As for 13 seconds, you got to touch the hill. Finally, contest comes through, and now the cap can start. 9-6 the life count, 9-5 the life count. Well, better late than never, I guess, but the cap's coming through. Havoc with 1. Nagafen also makes it 8-4 versus 7, but Methods just lay there. So sneaky, so coy. 4v3 time, though. That could be the factor. Is Proto even going to be able to get close to it? Well, fails his grapple, falls, and just like that, the round is done.
That is 2 minutes, 22 seconds, give or take, of I think a 4 life deficit they had off the rip, 29-25. And Gen.G is able to hold strong. And again, if you ever lose a round on offense and you don't even burn all your lives and then time just runs out, granted it's only 2, but you're playing a little bit too slow. Like, I really think there's an opportunity for UYU. They cleared out their back red building restaurant, third hill of the hard point, whatever you want to call it. They did clear it out. They took down Naga. They took down Mox. They had 2 players up top, 3 players on the flank, and then they just kind of stagnated. They never really tried to make a play. And I'm not saying it's easy. Gen.G did a fantastic job of holding on, but it didn't seem to try as much as they possibly could have. Before Gen.G gets that first round, that they themselves will be over towards A and nearly a tick in. And the team kill is going to help, if anything. Knight takes down Proto.
And this is big for Naga as well, because 190 away from streaks. Havoc's 200. They're both in the zone, both getting points for capturing up, and any amount of kills here could really spiral game 2 out of control. They have to concede it. Yep, so this is going to be free points for both those 2 players. How close are they going to get? Well, that close. Lightning for both.
And just to kill off the next Hellstorm, it is going to be Mayhem all the way in the base. Might be able to pick up at least 1 big kill. There it is. Nagafen getting tagged up. Stays alive for the moment. Now they're trying to hunt down Proto. Feed these kills to Naga. He just needs to get a bullet in forward. But Proto doing the smart thing. He just runs. He disappears. Now this is a bit of time that is being invested to try to hunt him down. And Proto takes Mox down with him.
I mean, you have time, right? Similar to the first round. Over 2 minutes to play, and both players still on their streak. They both survived. Curious to see if maybe a ping might come through. Just 1. I mean, you have 2 lightning strikes to work with. You're trying to feed information to both those 2 players. You want to make sure that your side of the map is at least cleaned out. You don't have to worry about it too much. And in fact, the gunfights come through. Mid is clear. Now the stun is going to be met by a trophy. Hardpoint's going to be contested, but you don't really want the guys on streaks to be going first in. But full streaks for 1 player. Nagafen did fall, but I believe he got his 2nd streak. So he at least gets his Hellstorm. It's a massive advantage now for Gen.G, Chance. 5 streaks. It's huge, and maybe even more.
Lightning Strike finds 1. Havoc finds 3, because I think the drone squad helped them out, so they got everything in the air. Nagafen looking for kills, more importantly, just trying to stay alive, but you get 2 ticks of progress at B. You're letting it ride. Havoc on the flank. Has a gravity slam if he wants to pick up 3, but he can get maybe at least 2 with the SOG, but if not him, the drone squad and his entire team is there. Gen.G 8-1 on Gridlock. And they are 2-0 up in this, and they got more streaks at their disposal. And it's worth pointing out, Havoc rocking the big boy streaks. He forgoes the Hellstorm. He's got the Sniper's Nest, and, well, he had the drone squad, which, honestly, I like that decision. Lightning Strike and Hellstorm, it is tough to get kills on Gridlock at times. Sniper's Nest, at the very least, it's forcing your opponent to, well, take the time to shoot it down.
I believe there's 3 streaks still at play. The Sniper's Nest, a Lightning Strike, and I believe a Hellstorm. There was another player from Gen.G close to streaks, not able to secure them. But it really doesn't matter. A 2-0 lead here, and, well, there's a reason Gen.G have been so consistent. There's a reason they are where they are in the standings, and it's been just solid performances, consistent outside of course, well, I guess they are even consistent at game 1, just losing it. Grab Slam for Havoc could maybe just close out this early push, but doesn't get anything at all for his efforts. 2 players behind him, finds 1. And again, still streaks at play here for Gen.G.
Okay, so we've seen bad graph slams, and that was not one of them. That was just unfortunate, and then well played by UYU. Yeah, that's a graph slam to take down, I think, a trophy.
Yes.
Which is completely absurd, but basically on the flank is going to find 2 free kills and stays alive to go for the third.
Played.
And he's going to connect with it as well. Of course, doesn't make a difference because your teammates got streaks. It seems like this is just UYU at this point getting spawn killed, streaks getting rained in, players just pushed up all over the place. It's basically still in the back on a 4 spree. There's free kill number 5. There's number 6 getting lined up, but Skies takes him down, shut down the streaks, but just to do a specialist count, almost all of them. You got the War Machine, the Annihilator, the Tempest, a 4-kill lead. Players over towards A, getting close to that 2nd tick, but players on the flank, if you want, you got the War Machine. Proto does have the grab slam, but that'll be for later usage. Right now, Gen.G, all those players pushing up the front. Still is contested. It looks like Gen.G are going to chalk it up, run away, take their 2-life lead.
And they can afford to do that because look at where Mox is, number 9 on that minimap. He's already deep on UYU's side. A minute 42, a 2 advantage in terms of the lives for Gen.G. So many specialists still available to use from both teams here. More notably, streaks can be called into. I believe the sniper's nest now in the air. And Nagafen, of course, still with the Hellstorm.
And there goes that 3-4 life lead that they had. Of course, Major Maniac on the uptake will be able to at least find one. Now all these players starting to come outside. Methods, by the way, has pulled out the Annihilator. I don't know if that sniper... Did they shoot the sniper's nest down?
I would assume so, as some Rai shots come through, but makes up with it nicely. 2 more kills through. Judging by the fact that can't hear it, I assume it's gone.
I was going to say, I completely missed it. It happened a lot faster than I was expecting, especially with all the players kind of trapped inside. Methods, though, does not connect. Major Maniac pulls out his Annihilator. He's able to find 2. You got to keep in mind, life advantage, despite the Annihilator from Methods, still 3 up for Gen.G. And they were able to hold B with nothing at their disposal. And Nagafen still has an extra streak. Spacely, fighting 4 players, is able to take 1 with them.
Oh, he needs to be careful. Doesn't get bad timing. Switching from the Annihilator to his AR could have maybe cost him, but a 10-6, 10-5, this one should be over.
Looking like a 3-0. Ben, we were hoping that the series would maybe get a little bit closer. Apparently not. Apparently every game is going to be a blowout. But what I will say is, despite the fact that every single series from Gen.G, except for one, has gone the exact same way, should we see a game number 5, or should we see the comeback? 5.6 on the clock. They might get these kills. Tempest to shut down 3v5, but how close are these players? You actually have, it's going to be Havoc on the back line. They sniff him out. Still a ton of time, but it's a 4v3, 4v2. And at least one of these guys has to stay on the point.
It's basically just waiting, buying time for his teammates. Mayhem with another pick, 2v3. The reach out comes through. Now it's a 1v2. Mayhem behind 1v1. He's in the zone. 0.9 seconds. He cannot leave. Buying time.
Oh, he can hear
through. That was some of the worst Tempest play I've ever seen in my entire life. I'll tell you exactly what that was. That was laziness right there from Gen.G. They thought they had that done and dusted. They get complacent, and UYU steal that round.
I always feel bad as a caster when, like, you know the game is clearly over, but, like, you have to sell the story just in case. I was completely convinced. Like,
that should have been over.
The easiest win they could have potentially had, and then all of a sudden 4 go down, and then you get complete control of B. You make the plays at the end, and it comes down to a 1v1 that Mayhem of all people come back. So here we go, Ben. We wanted an interesting game. UYU chipping away to try to make it happen. These are the plays we appreciate.
That was an incredible clutch from UYU, but sloppy play from Gen.G. That's the reality of the situation there. As UYU keep their Game 3 chances alive. Still a lot of work to be done here, Chance. A lot of work to be done. And that's going to make it even more difficult. A capped 2:20 on the clock.
A lot of time. Back to fighting for this B point, which, as you can see, it just takes a moment to break through and get control, and you can make stuff happen. Players on the back end. Nagafen's able to find one. He's got 2 teammates to help him. Knight up top. He's going to spot at least 2 players out. Does not clean any up. Now he's got the reinforcements to come in. Wins the 1v1, able to stay alive. Proto trying to win his. Gets taken down. Mox had a little bit of help from that gunfight. And Gen.G have been trying to creep up this life advantage. They're able to get towards the side as well, but it comes down to Mayhem, who, well, he clutched up the 1v1 earlier. Has a free kill on Major Maniac, trying to do the 180. UYU, so far so good, stabilizing the round.
About a minute gone as well. Still plenty of time though, over a minute and a half to play. Once again, zone's going to be contested on 1 life advantage for Gen.G. Proto's going to be there though, he gets himself 2. And once again, UYU retake control of the B zone.
Sack 5 invested from Gen.G. Nagafen, for the 2nd time in the series, wants to call in some score streaks, but we talk about how difficult it is to pick up some kills. Gets the drone squad for killing nobody.
And he killed a trophy.
Can you imagine?
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
That's the only thing that makes it. Yeah, I mean, I don't have an alternative explanation for you. So he's got the drone squad. They're able to get towards B. They got a little bit of control, and the drone squad, I guess, earned from a trophy. Able to pick up 2 kills. They're inside of B, trying to close out the game, but it's not over until it's over, Ben. We've made this mistake before. The contest comes in, Methods and Mayhem each able to pick up a kill. Drone Squad's here, but so was the War Machine, kills Major Maniac, and they have that life advantage 2 ticks in. I don't think you can War Machine a Drone Squad.
You can try. Definitely go boom. But 2 ticks into B. A 1 life advantage for UYU, and they are, of course, defending. Hellstorm's going to be called in. This could be used to give a little bit of map control as it's hovered. But gets nada. Zilch. Nothing. 2 more kills for UYU. 3 kills for UYU. Zone contested once again. Mayhem working towards some streaks of his own. Player was lying behind the car. It was Major Maniac, and now the biggest life lead we've seen so far this game. It's funny because we thought it was going to be close. I don't think we would have had it this kind of back and forth, if you will.
And if you're Gen.G, life doesn't matter. Screw it. You just need to get 1 wave of kills, and you got to just dive in for the point. They do get an opening break, and here's the move. Havoc with the gravity sling comes over top. There's nothing to be found, but still actually got just far enough to take down Skies. They're inside. Mayhem, again, the man's been got in control, has the contest, finds 1, goes for the challenge, beat down on the second, and despite the gravity slam invested, UYU surely will not choke it by team killing. Proto able to get 1, Proto able to get 2. Mox for the 1v8, and this is going to a round 5.
And you would love to be able to feed this kill to your teammate who's won off streaks, but Method says, no, no, no. No, no. I need that kill. So he takes it, but I don't know whether I agree with the Grav Slam. You were going to a round 5 no matter what. I think it's more beneficial to use it in a round 5 clean than try and open it up in this one.
I mean, not going to a round 5 no matter what. They could have won the... How many times have we seen a 3-piece Grav Slam come out in that exact same spot time and time again? Some teams stack up, make the mistake, but we saw there you had a player in 18, a player playing behind the pillar. It was just a good adjustment from UYU. They knew the play. They've seen it time and time again.
It's a blind Grav Slam.
But it has worked so well, Ben, in the past. Obviously not here. You make the decisions, you reap what you sow. We are in a round 5, and they do not have that Grav Slam. But they took a crack at it.
They did. They just failed a little bit at it, but that's fine. 25 points away from streaks is Mayhem, and you kind of highlighted him before and said he's just been so good in this game mode. I mean, 32 and 19 here, but you need the streaks. And he gets the first capture point. That's going to give him the lightning. 75 points away from the second streak. Nagafen trying to go for the flank, and are they going to once again concede the A zone? Naga not able to get a kill. Methods will shut him down. Mayhem gets fully streaked out. UYU, 1 step closer to going 2-1 up in this series.
And it cannot be understated. If they complete this comeback, it was from the depths of hell. I have never been more convinced in my life that Gen.G was going to get to 3-0, and yet here we are, and Mayhem, 34 kills, and he's got streaks potentially to get some more, and there's no reason not to invest in the drone squad. They know players are nearby. The shots coming in are going to be the indicator of that. They're slowly trying to creep up for control because they got 4 players right now trying to flank. Drone squad tagging players up. Mayhem, they're clear. Now these players spawn up in the back. You want to go for the spawn kills, but Havoc might be able to find 2 of his own. Spacely able to clean up the 3rd, and that is a huge shutdown.
And that's the problem. When you play to go through the other team's spawn, you've got to be quick, and you have to be very, very quick. You can't be complacent because the second you get that first kill, what's going to happen? Well, they're going to spawn behind you. And a quick flurry, and all of a sudden you lose full control. Methods has also earned himself a streak. Bear that in mind. He gets his first. The life count is just complete even at 20 each. Over 60 seconds left. Methods going to use his lightning. He's not on a streak, so even if he gets any kills with it, no Hellstorm can be earned.
Minute to work with. And as much map control as Gen.G has at the moment, we have seen so many rounds where it just seemingly, it doesn't make a difference. Once those like final 5-10 seconds, once you make a move, of course, you got to keep in mind, Proto does have that Grav Slam. They got a lot in the back pocket, including the streaks.
I was going to say, remember game 1? You said it would be fitting if Proto could maybe have another Grav Slam. He didn't earn it in the hard point, but, well, he did earn it. He just didn't have a chance to use it towards the end. But now all of a sudden, can he be a deciding factor as the life count dwindles away? 17 to 12, 28 seconds left. It's not been pretty by any means here from UYU, but I think they've done enough to close, or sorry, for Gen.G, but I think they've done enough here to close this one out. Streak comes through, it's desperate. Grab slam from Proto. Surely not again. Surely not again. No, Major Maniac this time. He has an Annihilator from behind. It is going to be contested, but Major Maniac, well, there's one, there's two, there's three. 5 seconds left. And now surely, with Major Maniac not missing with the Annihilator, that's all it took. The man to go on a rampage. Gen.G close it out.
Like we tried to say about 10 minutes ago, when they should have won 3-0, they close out in the end. And what an interesting game that was at the end. A lot of specialists that went incredibly well for Gen.G, that went terribly for UYU. I think is what Methods pulled out the Annihilator. Half second later, shot in the back, just completely wasted. Proto forced to use the grab slam in a bad spot. Granted, gets a kill, but then Major Maniac, who, if you heard it, tried to pull out his Annihilator when he was back in the spawn, but he gets killed instantly.
Yep.
So if they just waited a half second to kill Major Maniac in this situation, he doesn't get the Annihilator, and maybe things still go the way Gen.G. They still have a massive life advantage, but picks up like 5 at the end, so he'll take what he can get. And actually, is this where? Or I think it's at the tail end of him getting a handful of kills.
Well, there's a minute 15 left on the clock. This is the desperation streak that Methods tries to call in, or sorry, pings it first for the information, then is forced to call it in a few moments later. But as you said, this is where Major Maniac secures the fact that he's going to earn his Annihilator. And then once he gets it, a little bit blessed, that's for sure, but unbelievably close. Game 3, it shouldn't have been. Should have been a 3-0 to Gen.G, but complacency. They get a little blessed towards the end of this one, but either way, it does take an Annihilator to finish things out, and when Major Maniac pops his Annihilator, boy oh boy, is it a convincing way to close it out.
One of the best. I really don't know who the best Annihilator is in the game yet. A handful of players contesting for it, but you'll see it here. He's going to pick up, I think, one more kill or get it off the concussion, whatever it is. And as soon as he does it, drops to 10 health, tries to pull it out, and it doesn't look like it, but you can hear the sound cue. And I'm saying, like, just a half second later and things go much, much better for UYU. But either way, we'll go to a game number 4 for the hard point, where, again, if in your head you're thinking, well, it doesn't matter because if it goes game 5, Gen.G wins. No, it is not one of their best maps at all, so you should not expect it to be anything like game number 2. But, of course, we do have to get there as well. So the pressure for UYU is on there, of course, fighting to be in the top half of Division A.
For Gen.G, a win here secures them the #1 spot in the league as well. Their series, they're convincing 3-1s. They go to a game 5 one time. But they've been very consistent at closing out series 3-1. We go to a gridlock hardpoint next.
Oh, never mind, dude. This is just... I'm having flashbacks to, like, the pick and bans now. I saw that... Okay. So 2-2 for UYU. That's overall. They're 2-1 in the Pro League, though, which is nice.
Okay.
For hardpoint.
Okay. Now, the fact that you started with this means I'm very worried for the next numbers that come out.
Okay, pick a first number, and whatever you think it is, go a little bit higher.
Not again. All right. Well, last time you said that the number was 8, so this time I'm going to assume it's probably going to be like 6.
6. Perfect.
Hey!
Guess how many times they've lost this map?
Twice?
Nope, they haven't.
Oh. Well, there you go. There you go.
So UYU, again, playing with fire. I'm assuming they ban frequency. Gen.G also very good at that map. Gen.G, again, just a good team. So the pick and bans is not going to be easy to do. But you talk about what some coaches bring to the table. You got to win the pick and bans, and at times, some guys can set you apart. So maybe Nubsy's just able to find these good maps. But just because it's good doesn't mean that they're not beatable. The UYU going to have to be the first ones to do it.
Is Joey Nubsy going to become a coach?
The coach?
Is he maybe by the end of the year?
He's taken a handful of great coaches down. It's like, it's got to be between him and Bevels at this point, seemingly. Of course, a ton of coaches now we have in the Pro League, like maybe a Tora even for Midnight, so there is a number of good options for you. By the way, Mox rocking the 2-time site, making things happen. Of course, Methods of Mayhem also making things happen. That's the entire team dead. 2 players versus the entire team of Gen.G. UYU comes out on top.
That's what Methods can bring to the table. 5-1 start, but well, no one wins that gunfight. The stun turns him into Disco Stew. There's UYU, a nice early advantage. Mayhem working towards a couple of streaks. 160 away, that's all he needs here. As the hardpoint is going to rotate. This has been a fantastic start for UYU.
I mean, that was honestly
perfect.
A completely brutal rotation with the Maddoxes. It was literally just Mayhem and Method just slowly walking like down around a huge flank and just getting kill after kill after kill. Taking these one-on-one gunfights, eventually he gets shot on the back because basically he's able to crack on through.
Oh no.
Now all the pressure's coming in the back. And again, we saw it in control. You can hold from the backside like this, and that's exactly what's going on. Skies, again, I said the man needs to step up in this series. He's already got the lightning strike. Also close to the Hellstorm. Has 2 players just over to the side, and eventually he just gets swarmed. But keep in mind, he does have that lightning strike in his back pocket.
Gen.G finally get their first point on the board. I mean, statistically, we're saying that this is one that Gen.G should be comfortable at taking, and maybe another 3-1 series in their favor, but so far, so good for UYU. More importantly, that lightning strike as well, right by Skies. The rotation comes through. It's going to be that fight from tree control. Knight's already there. It's basically trying to push through, but no success whatsoever. It's now Major Maniac's turn to try and hit the flank. He's only able to find one, trades out his life. Nagafen's turn, one, trades out his life. Mox, can you do one better? No, you can't. UYU looking great, but not actually in the hill here, Chance.
Honestly, it's just, it's brutal back and forth. It seems like the Maddoxes right now for UYU are stepping up pretty massively. They just need to get a little bit more help, and then honestly, they start to blow this game out of the water, but these final 30 seconds for Gen.G to get would be very nice for them to have. By the way, 30 seconds in, and we have a rotation battle at the top side of the map, which Proto does take down Spacely, so that's huge over there. And of course, on the flip side, also for UYU doing good things, they break through on the old hill. Proto, of course, does eventually get taken down, but maybe a little bit of damage mitigation has been done from the side of UYU. They don't give up that final 30, and now they're in a pretty solid spot to work on their rotation. It's Skies, and he's got 2 teammates behind him. Of course, Gen.G, well, they need at least a body in the hill.
Havoc's hitting a flank as well, and Skies is going to turn around and read it. His teammates call out where they spawn, and there's essentially a sandwich. As finally Gen.G can try at least and secure themselves a little bit of time. And they turn this final hill into a bit of a money hill. 40 seconds left, and Gen.G, if they pick up all this time, I mean, they'll take the lead. And all that hard work from UYU for nothing.
That's just the way it goes in Hardpoint, right? We talk about 100-point comebacks, so 60 really not that big of a deal at all. So a ton of Call of Duty left to be played in this game alone. Looks like Mayhem might have an important 1v1 gunfight, make it a 2v1, and Spacely just gets shot in the back anyway, but the trade certainly would have been there. But now Havoc actually inside the hill, so there you go. Gen.G fighting for that scrap time, able to get it. We have a very close game on our hands, and keep in mind, Skies has a lightning strike, so all those bodies right now in the hill for Gen.G. I would not expect it to last too long.
I mean, normally this is the hill you use it on, and well, there's the ping. Forces people off, and he's gonna invest it. He will. Shuts down Nagafen, and that's about it. Hill's still gonna be neutral. A 5-point lead for UYU as the hill now goes back to being contested. Spacely has 4 players running straight at him, and Methods of Mayhem, it was that duo, if you remember, in the first hill. Going at it again, this time Knight's there to help.
And big plays from that as well, because you see Spacely actually drew 2 players from UYU over towards it. So in the hill, they didn't have as much pressure, but they made the big plays. TAC 5 gets popped, it's contest in the hill. Pretty much a 1v1 between SOC players, and well, Knight just doing the best dance that he can. Eventually Proto comes in for the help. UYU gets the scrap time. They do have the rotation as well, but TAC 5 popped from the other side. Gen.G working on the surge.
Bear in mind how close to streaks he was. He's still working towards some. What we'll see is a flurry of kills come through. Methods now, it's his turn. Over towards the new hill. Yep, Knight still 140 away. And he put himself closer. Just staying alive, for now at least, but the push will come through. It's inevitable. 18-wheeler, it's Havoc with the sub. Shuts him down. No streaks for UYU.
Back and forth game. I mean, if you keep in mind, the first hardpoint is literally like the 10-12 hills we went through, only 2 breaks the entire time. This one, as scrappy as they get right now, it is UYU inside the hill. Mayhem doing everything he can to stay alive, do some damage, keep the players at bay. Eventually, Gen.G do break on through. And they should be able to take down Skies as well, or at least force him back, but he's winning impressive gunfights. Spacely does get dropped by Skies as well, but still, Gen.G, we're able to get those final 10 seconds. Skies being as annoying as possible, and he has bought his team essentially a free rotation.
Yep. And Gen.G, they take the lead. That's going to be just nullified almost instantly. As Nagafen tries to push through, but 2 more kills fall for UYU, and just as the theme really for this entire game has gone, another lead change. Remind, no Grav Slam available to use there for Gen.G. That could have been huge to open things up. Of course, Proto does have his as well, so could almost be used reactionary, and, well, no, he's going to be proactive with it. Shuts down Spacely. Now it's Havoc's turn. He's able to put himself in a position where he thinks this is going to do damage. Well, that's some damage. Double kill. Mox shuts down Mayhem, and a nice break from Gen.G.
Yeah, I will say on this series, Havoc has been dominating the Grav Slam war between himself and Proto. Not even, and now we got the Tempest battle potentially as well. Nagafen pulls his out, comes close on that second shot, doesn't even need to connect because he's got Spacely in the back working on spawns, but Nagafen does get dropped, and of course we got all kinds of specialist battles that you want. Major Maniac, you saw, it's gonna get dropped. I think the Vision Pulse came in from Skies, so that's actually a huge Vision Pulse. You take down the Annihilator, which we've seen Major Maniac can be devastating with it, and well, the Vision Pulse, you take down the Annihilator, you get the rotation. And honestly, things are going pretty well. Only a couple players for Gen.G on the front side, and honestly, they got nowhere to go. They got to wait for reinforcements.
Yeah, you have to wait, and you also have to hunt down Mayhem here as well. Just gonna lock down mid-map. Looks back, Spacely able to trade. 170, 135. Once again, we're heading back towards the biggest lead we've seen so far. This map and Methods is not slowed down, I feel like. It's crazy. He's only 20 and 19. But every time we watch him, it seems like he's going on a little bit of a streak, stringing together 2, 3, 4 kills every single life.
I'm surprised every single time I look at Methods and Mayhem like KDs, because every single time they're on screen, it seems like they're just completely shutting, and then you check and you're like, okay, like a little bit past even. But either way, 50-point lead. They're 2-1 in the Pro League on this map, and you can see why those Maddox players are very, very solid, and everyone right now having a pretty solid game as well. Unfortunately for them, they do not have a Lightning Strike this time around. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to break inside the hill, and Mox wants to tack 5. They want to lock this down for a full 60, trying to break the game. Plus,
streaks.
20 points away from streaks.
Yeah, that's going to be big. There's 1, there's 2. Now working towards your final streak. 80 points is what you need, and it's going to be important here to make sure you lock down the spawns as well. Yes, the Sniper's Nest would be nice, which you're going to get anyway, but now it's just all about the fight for the spawns, and with 30 seconds left, you can go ahead and call in that Sniper's Nest. Gen.G should be good to retake the lead off the time here, but again, the spawns, that's what Spacely's trying to play for. He recognizes the importance. You have Havoc on the other side of the 18-wheeler now, trying to go for a bit of a pinch. Unfortunately, Spacely will fall. Now, where is Spacely going to spawn? Answer, way, way, way out. So for Gen.G, you have to traverse across the map and try and set up, though it's a nice hold for UYU momentarily at least.
This is big for UYU because they get the rotation essentially clean. No one's died right now from the Sniper's Nest. I don't believe anyone shot it down, but again, players can just play inside a sushi, play inside a post. They can be perfectly safe from it, and that's because they won the rotation battle so heavily. Now inside, though, Knight in post, trying to keep a couple players at bay. All the pressure from Gen.G coming in the back right now. Mox finally able to get one with the snipers. Does one with the ICR as well. Major Maniac finds a kill. And this is it. If you don't get through quickly, UYU is going to be right back in the hill, so they make their move. They take down Mayhem. Proto live, 26 health. They get the drop on that, and they do break through. We got ourselves a close game.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And what is left? Proto close to a Grav Slam. Knight close to his specialist. Attack 5 boost. Mayhem close to a War Machine. On the other side for Gen.G, realistically, I doubt you see anything. Maybe a War Machine from Spacely, but you still have the streaks available, and that's what's called in. The Lightning is the first. Gen.G a 3-point lead as we rotate over towards Tree. This is going to be interesting.
And that Sniper's Nest was still getting kills. It has been helpful for a minute and a half plus. Gen.G 25 seconds away from ending the game. They got the Hellstorm in, and Ben, if they get this, they will be on top of Division A. And Havoc letting it ride. He's up close with the SOG. These are easy gunfights for him to win. And you got Major Maniac at least slowing the team down. Stuns are coming in. Havoc's coming in. 10 seconds away. UYU, they got it in. They got to contest. And they're getting shot in the back on the way. Do you pull out the War Machine or do you die? You just got to die. 4 points away. Gen.G, congratulations. We call this one too early. They get the win, Ben. Top of the division, undefeated, 5-0. In every single series, they lose the first hardpoint, and it doesn't matter.
It's scarily consistent for Gen.G. Another 3-1 victory, another game 1 loss. There has to be an answer how to shut this team down. So far, it's been very, very difficult to do so, and I love the way they use the Hellstorm right at the very end. They clear out Tree, they use the Lightning to do that, then they call in the Hellstorm, wait players off spawn, of course. It's so difficult to push, and Gen.G closed that one out very comfortably compared to how the rest of that map went. But Gen.G, with that victory, now sit top of Division A. A wonderful match from them. Maybe it could have been a little easier, but it doesn't matter. They are currently sitting pretty, as I said, at the top of Division A.
a little cozy corner in your heart for me.
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Level up the game.
Who cares about map 1? Not Gen.G. They are now at the top of Division A, 5-0, undefeated. A huge congratulations to them. UYU, of course, falling, but your desk is back. I'm your host, Katie Bedford, with Nameless, Pac-Man, and Study, and every time it's just the same thing.
Number one now. They did the Gen.G. Yeah, they did. That's the Gen.G special. Lose map 1, win the next 2 maps. I said it before. I was like, you can beat Gen.G 250-1 on that first hard point, and they're going to come back and win the series. And they absolutely obliterated them on game 2. UYU needed to win a search to be in the series. They needed to win that game 2.
You did call that.
Yep.
Yeah, and let's actually now study. Let's talk a little bit more about that S&D, because you said map 2 blew them out of the water.
They just put on simply a clinic. The teamwork in that, out of Gen.G is unbelievable. They never challenge by themselves. They're always putting themselves in a team challenge situation to where one of your players are flying out, someone's right there immediately for the trade. And also, it's just like the information that they're just gaining on every single map is just amazing. Like, look, it's just number advantage every single time. They're not giving away their lives. It's amazing to see such flawless S&D. 6-0, flawless.
And yeah, like that's what you're noticing from the best teams in Search and Destroy in this game, right? Not over-strategizing. You know, they have their strategies off the rip. You know, they get their first blood and they group up and they play the trade game from there on out. And you know, going down 3-0, people picking up streaks, that's when you let the game get out of hand. You lose those first 2 rounds, that next round becomes very crucial because at that point, you got players who are picking up streaks, getting very close to their specialists. And whereas, you know, at 6-0, it got a little bit out of hand early on, which led to them to destroy.
Gen.G was outplaying UYU in the early round pretty much every single round. Every single round, Gen.G would end up with numbers advantage, and they would just close out. I'm not really sure what UYU is doing wrong with their strats, but obviously they need to figure out something so they can get some more of those first bloods to get those number advantage early.
I want Nameless, do you think it's maybe less UYU doing something wrong or more Gen.G just being really, really good with what they're doing?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a combination of both, right? Like, you have one of the worst Search and Destroy teams here in this division going up against the best Search and Destroy team here. So right there, it really shined. Like, Gen.G's refined. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly how the current meta Search and Destroy is played. UYU doesn't. You know, they have their initial strats that they go out and they try to execute. It has been working. It's still not working. And you go up against a team who's on point like that, you're going to get steamrolled. And you could see in the rounds where they're just rolling together that UYU had absolutely no answer for them.
Yeah, there's also a little bit of something we wanted to show you on that map 3, that control round 5 that we're going to bring up for you right now.
Round 5, UYU actually put themselves in a position to win this map. Like, there's a point later in this round, and after they control, they get this A point. They have Annihilator and streaks, and they take so long trying to work the flank, right? Instead of just going back to the front of B and hitting it together, use your streaks so you can isolate them to certain areas of the map, pull out that Annihilator, then you can pick, the Annihilator can pick that guy out of the power positions, either in the truck. The guy can no longer use the left heady because of streaks. He's gonna have to go in the truck. Just push up the streak together and win the map. I'm not really sure. A lot of 2 of UYU's rounds, their offensive rounds, they didn't even use all their lives.
Yeah.
They were playing like really slow on those takes.
So like going around it's a good play, right? Like if you get those kills and you go around, but then you got to spawn kill those guys to make people that are pushed up back up and kill you. So you're going to see UYU, they kind of execute it, they get in position, they get the kills, but then they don't turn around for those spawn kills. And the guy that has the Annihilator out ends up getting shot in the back, and that leaves Major Maniac, who is then pushed up in a position to not have to go back and help his teammates. He gets to stay pushed up on that street, and he ends up going on an absolute streak, but the damage has already been done because you didn't buy enough time for him to have to come back and help and possibly clean him up. It was poorly played, you know, post those initial kills.
I think that he just didn't even need to pull out the Annihilator once his team got killed.
Next push.
Right, the next push, go together. The guy's coming behind you, now you have to be spinning around with your Annihilator as opposed to focus on like certain areas of the map. They could have comboed the streaks and the Annihilator usage a lot better.
So right here is you're going to see it. You see the players on Gen.G, they're pushed up on that B street. It's going to be Major Maniac trying to cause some havoc here. And you see the players on UYU trying to go around, trying to cause that chaos, which is, you know, this is a good player here. You call in the Hellstorm, try to get an entry, and you try to pick up kills in the spawn. And UYU gets back there, but you know, unfortunately, they don't turn around and try to pick up those spawn kills, and it ends up biting them in the butt.
Especially when using an Annihilator. That's something. It's 2-2 right here. Annihilator is something.
So look, keep in mind, he picked up a Hellstorm kill, picked up a kill on Mox after with the lightning strike. And then right here, player comes off spawn, shoots him in the back. That's Mox. Now that is bad communication. That's not keeping up with the kill feed. You don't know, essentially you pretty much don't know what's going on right there because Mox just died to the lightning. You should be aware of that. You should turn around, you should spawn kill him. At that point, the player that's at 18 has to come back and kill you.
That's also the crucial.
You have an
point of the
opportunity
game.
there.
They're out of time. At this point, they're legitimately out of time.
Yeah, that's the game.
Yeah, that's the game. They can no longer do like a coordinated team push that's going to work, that's going to be effective. They just have to go. Like, they have no choice. Even after Proto gets this, he can't wait for his teammates. He just has to go. They didn't have enough time to win the game after this. And then this gives Major Maniac easy Annihilator kills. He knows where everyone's coming from.
Yeah. Now, I mean, obviously with X-Ray and watching it, you know, it's a lot less, you know, crazy than actually being in the game. But those are the little things that is going to separate these, you know, average teams from the great teams. Counting the players, knowing when the player that died from that lightning strike is going to be off the spawn. You know, right there, you can give yourself a 2-1 lead in this series, and you're screwed at that point. Like,
So I kind of
Gen.G.
wonder for all of you, when you look at Gen.G, what do you see chinks in their armor that can be exploited? Things that
They're hard.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm not even sure if they're like really good at hardpoint. But I know they're really clutch. They're a really clutch team, but they keep losing game 1, and it's so weird that they keep losing it. Like, this is the weirdest.
Yeah.
It's got to be the weirdest thing I've ever seen watching COD. A team that just can't win game 1, but they can win game 4 pretty consistently.
Yeah. It's I guess the only chink in their armor would be that they're not an extremely dominant respawn team, but where they make up for that is in their search and destroy.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, right now they just have to keep doing what they're doing in search and just daily improve upon their hardpoint, and they'll be a fantastic team.
Now you did